Just a quick update on where we are, because there really aren't a lot of scenes in this game. They are very, very few and far in between. We now have a lot of money. Our relationship with Aaron is about 85, our romance is 75, and we have 11 days left. I'm not sure how much we're going to get done. The chances of scoring with Aaron, if you will, are rather low at the moment, I feel. When I returned home, I was surprised to see Gwenda hurrying around the house and looking around the living room rather frantically. Hey, is something wrong? Well, it probably isn't as big of a deal, but what? You look worried. I can't find Nina anywhere. Look for her or don't worry too much. Oh, fuck it, what do I care? Like the third time I seem to remember her even being mentioned. Oh no, what do you mean? Could she have gotten out? Unless there's a hole in the screen or something I just don't know about. I don't think so. She might just be hiding somewhere, but I simply can't find her. I know how much that cat means to you and I'm worried. I'll help look around. I'm sure she isn't far. Don't let her be, like, roadkill. Just, let her be alive. That'd be nice. I'll check outside. Why don't you look in the basement? Okay, that sounds good. Thank you for being so concerned. I really appreciate it. Yes, well, I wouldn't be normally, but I am supposedly playing a girl who cares a lot for a cat, so... Gwenda smiled and nodded. Of course, let's go find her. I returned the smile and hurried towards the stairs of the basement. It only took a few minutes to reach the bottom, but with each step I remembered how I first got Nina. I remembered when I first got with Aaron, and how much he cared for the little cat. I heard a quiet mewing when I reached the bottom and glanced around, feeling happy when I heard it. Nina, are you down here? I hurried over to where I heard the sound, surprised when it sounded as though there were several sources of the quiet squeaks. Oh my god, kittens. They sounded too high-pitched to come from a fully grown cat like Nina, and when I approached the old cat basket near the water heater, I gasped when I saw Nina had 4 little kittens that just looked just like her at her side. Oh, what a surprise. I brought them all up. No, you didn't. That's a lie. I brought only one of them up, leaving the kittens down there without their mother, and Gwenda helped me prepare beds for all of the little kittens. Before we could make set plans to name them all, I had a perfect idea. I'm sorry, but I want to go to the hospital and take one of these kittens to Aaron. I think they may help him remember something. They probably won't. And what's the point? It's evening. We're not allowed to. Okay, but don't stay out too late. We have to get some new supplies for these little guys. We're just keeping them. We're just keeping 4 new Not even a thought about it. Nuh-uh. I smiled and nodded. Of course, I'll be back soon. See you. I left and made the trip to the hospital as quickly as I could. I was gentle with how I held and carried the tiny kitten up until I arrived, and someone at the hospital was kind enough to hold the door open for me as I started towards Aaron's room. So, it's as I thought then, like, they just let us through in the evening. That's not what I thought at all, was it? My plan was going perfectly, but the nurses were muttering the inappropriateness of having a cat in a sanitary corridor. To be fair, can kind of understand where they're coming from. We're just gonna turn down the music a little bit, because there's fucking lyrics in a sodding background music. It makes no sense. Before I could reach Aaron with it, I found myself confronted with Eddie. Good evening, Amy. I'm sorry to inform you that cats aren't supposed to be let in here. We have to keep the hospital perfectly sanitary, and some of the patients might be allergic. My shoulders fell at this disheartening news, but I didn't want to give up. But it's for Aaron. I have it out soon, don't worry. Sorry, but I can't let you bring it in the room. It'd be too much for breach of protocol. Could you please just make one little exception? It's for pet therapy. You have no idea, I'd imagine, how much he gets asked, oh, just this one time. I'd imagine it's a fucking lot. Eddie looked skeptical, but his tone softened slightly when he continued to speak. Is that so? That's not really something we practice here. Oh, but Eddie, it's really important to me and I think it might work. We haven't spoken to him in months. I'm amazed we still know his name. The young doctor sighed, shaking his head as he stepped aside. Well, alright, for you I'll let it slide, but please take it home soon. It definitely cannot stay here. That's also definitely not a fucking kitten we have in our hands. Okay, no problem. Thank you so much. I hurried into the room to find myself alone with Aaron. Hello, Amy. Hi, I brought someone to see you today. Oh? He smiled cheerfully when I walked forward and gently placed the tiny kitten at the foot of his bed. That's not the foot of his bed. It's a pillow. And Aaron's arm, for fuck's sake. He looked slightly surprised but happy to see it. He stared at it for a moment as the small animal slowly made its way up for him, giving a hard time navigating the sheets and the pillow. It looks so familiar. It should. She's one of Nina's kittens. Nina. We both fell silent as the kitten finally reached Aaron. It's been there a while, looking as adorable and innocent as any animal could. It sniffed him for a moment before affectionately licking him. The cat started to lick me, I tell it to shoo. He let it finish, watching with a tender smile before he picked it up. Just as gentle and kind as I had been. A look of recognition suddenly dawned upon his face. Nina? She had kittens? How is she? My eyes lit up at the familiarity of his words. She's doing really great, and once you're out of here, that kitten will be for you. Wow, a 10 this late on is probably pushed us straight there towards the good ending. It's now the romance I worry about getting up that high. I haven't remembered about Nina. I have a good feeling about it. Just like that, the scene ends. Alright, well, the last scene will probably be the ending. The pacing's been good, hasn't it? 100 relationship with Mr. Cowan. That's done. Now we need to get romance up by 14 points in 6 days. I'm not feeling too confident. So we have a choice here. I have reached 100 relationship with Aaron. Do I want to continue playing to unlock the special ending, or if you choose to stop it, it will unlock the normal ending? So we're going to do the normal ending and then hopefully go back and do the special ending. Hopefully. We're going to need a lot of luck. So let's do this, shall we? Stop playing. Congratulations, you unlocked an ending. Oh. I smiled up at him, eyes full of joy and my spirit perfectly content. It's really a beautiful day, isn't it? It is, but isn't as beautiful as you, Amy? You're making me blush. You can be such a flirt sometimes, Aaron, so we've just skipped the hospital bit, have we? But isn't that how I always was? Most of the time. I want everything to be perfectly normal again, even if it takes a while. It's okay, there's no rush. These things take time after all, just like, oh sure, I'm sure he'll accept me soon. Yes, I'm sure he will too. I smiled and took a deep breath, enjoying the scent of the sea breeze. We were on the same beach as we had been the night before the accident. Aaron moved closer to me and took my hand in his. Amy, I love you. Even when my memories were hazy, I felt the same way from the moment I first saw you. I felt his warm hand close over mine. I leaned my head against his shoulder, happy to be close to him again. I wanted him to tell him the same thing, but I felt obligated to have some fun and put a poetic spin on it. I love you too, today and forevermore. The end. I feel that even when I get the special ending, I'm still going to be rather skeptical just because there were no scenes. I don't feel any closer to him than I did when he first got into the accident. There was a nice little opening, 15 minutes, and then he had the crash. And then it just died. Well, we'll go back and do it. Pray to God that we do get it. And I'll show you that as well. Here we are, the special ending. We just did it. I watched this stubborn old man who, despite his flaws, I hope from the bottom of my heart would become my father-in-law. He was holding a copy of the New York Times best-selling novel Won His Heart Twice. The book was about the trials Aaron and I had faced when he lost his memories. When I started the book, I didn't know how it was going to end. But now I'm overjoyed to say that it got to have a happy ending with the protagonist's love regaining all his memories of their time together. The book's not going to be too full, is it? Aaron held my hand tightly, waiting for his father's response. The engagement ring on my finger felt heavier than usual due to the anticipation of what he would say. Well, I really must say the book was very impressive. Every single word of it is completely true. Yeah, Amy wrote it from the bottom of her heart, in which case Osher should be offended. Christ. I can see that much. I'm not apologising, but I will give you my blessing. My heart leapt at his words, and I felt Aaron squeeze my hand as we both smiled. Really? You mean it? Yes, I give the two of you permission to marry. Thank you so much. I'm so happy you approve of us. I expect you to be a good wife to my son, though. I will be, I promise. You don't have to worry. However, there's still one more condition. My smile must have fallen into a frown instantly, for the old man simply smiled. It is probably the first time he ever smiled at me. Oh, don't worry, it's nothing big, but since you're such a famous writer now, I want you to sign my copy of this book. Very funny. Of course. Dad, don't play jokes like that. Amy is a good sport, but you really had me worrying. We all laughed as I took the pen and book from Osha. Next time I sign with my name, it'll be on the marriage certificate. Or or anything else you might sign for. Well, that's always remember me. I'm not sure I can put that into any sort of meaningful words. I mean, you guys got the experience I did. Just I did all the tedious clicking around as to going to the job twice a day, then going to visit Aaron, going back to my house, romance, maybe a poem if it's a weekend and there's time to do it, and then sleeping. And that's all the game was. Did I even get 10 scenes? I'm not sure I did. Because there's the one at the beginning and the one after that, the Akadara plushie. I think there's 2 or 3 before that, so we're on 6. Then there's the 2 special the normal ending, special ending. Did we even get 10 scenes with Aaron? I'm not sure we did at all. It just seemed very brief. From when it did start going into the story a little bit more, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. It just seemed, as I said, incredibly brief in between then. But hey, some of you might like that, and as it's quite obvious, there are 3 other people if you do want to go buy the game and go romance someone. My name's ChrisTenarium, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.